What's going on, guys? Danny with Geared Candy, and we're gonna try something a little different with this series. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while now. It's gonna be a vlog, but how do I say? I guess it's gonna be more of maybe a high production vlog. All right, so it's January 2nd. I am at a point where I need to start thinking about what I'm gonna be doing this year, resolutions, whatever you wanna call it. Weight is one of those top tier items on the list. Ever since the summer, I haven't been doing what I need to be doing. I haven't been calorie counting. I haven't been, I've been sort of doing the fasting, but it hasn't been as aggressive as it was in the past. Here's the plan, guys. This is what I envision as sort of phase one. We're gonna go with intermittent fasting, or IF. If you Google it, you'll see a bunch of things on IF. We're gonna be doing intermittent fasting. Quick breakdown on intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is basically how we used to eat back in the day. When we were, when refrigerators weren't readily available, when you couldn't just go to a store and buy food, what did you do? You had to go out there, you had to hunt, you had to fish, you had to go and get your food. Now, sometimes you weren't so lucky. The concept of having food available in a refrigerator is relatively new to the body. It's not a foreign concept for the body to go without food for a certain amount of time. Some people hear about IF and they freak out. What IF is taking, basically you're separating the amount of time that you have to eat within the day. So you're isolating that time. What worked best for me is, I believe it was 18 hours of fasting, 6 hours of eating. My last meal is at 8 p.m. and I won't eat until the next day at 2 p.m. That's the most aggressive I usually take it. That's roughly an 18-hour fast. If you can't do 18 hours, go for 16 hours. I think you can even go as low as 14 hours. The body is technically in a fasted state at 14 hours, but I recommend at least 16. I've tested all these different times, and everybody's body is different, but for my body in particular, I won't fast any less than 16 hours so that I can get the maximum amount of fat burn, energy burn in my body. Phase one, step one is gonna be intermittent fasting. We're gonna shoot for the 18 hours. Last meal's at 8, first meal's at 2 p.m. next day. And I basically have between 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. to get all my meals in. That brings us to the second part of intermittent fasting, is what to eat, when to eat, maybe how to eat. So basically, I'm saying basically a lot, sorry about that. Some people like to have the first meal be a small meal, and then the second meal be a very big meal. I'm really hungry when it comes to that first meal, so I tend to go for broke on that first meal. You're gonna have to stick to what's called macros. Macros are basically macronutrients. You wanna make sure you have a balance between your carbs, your fats, and your calories. It's almost like a triangle balance. You have to take into account what you're eating and make sure it's within that triangle balance. Just Google macros and stick to a nice balanced macro meal. So you can have a little bit of fun with this, guys. It worked for me because, I'm a big guy. I'm 6'1", guys, and I'm a dude. So I eat like a 6'1" dude. And essentially, I can't just go out there and have what I like to call these bird meals, where it's like, a bunch of salad and one piece of chicken. Like, that's not gonna do it for me. The beauty of intermittent fasting for me has been that first meal, I pretty much have whatever I want, of course, sticking within the macronutrients. So it's not like you can just go out and have a Big Mac. Be smart about it. You can also have a lot more than what you're used to. And that first meal is gonna hold you over well into the second meal. You're gonna have to calculate for your weight, for your gender, the amount of calories you should be eating to be at a deficit. The amount of calories you're taking in is lower the amount of calories your body is gonna burn. So in my particular instance, my deficit is right around 1,900 calories. I try to shoot maybe even a little bit lower than that. So I'm gonna go for about 1,800 calories. But you'd be surprised, if you have, let's say, a burger and fries, that's about 1,100 calories, maybe 1,200 calories. You still have another 600-700 calories for your second meal. And like I said before, you're not gonna be as hungry for the second meal. So 600-700 calories is more than enough for that second meal. In most men, it's gonna be around 1,900. I can tell you that right now. It doesn't fluctuate that high. Unfortunately for women, it's much lower. Like for my wife, her deficit is about 1,300, which kind of sucks for her because she gets to see me eat these huge meals, and she'll have a similar meal, but it won't be anywhere near as close. So we're gonna be doing IF pretty much every day, guys. There's no break when it comes to IF. That's kind of step one of the phase one approach. Step two of phase one is gonna be the exercise portion of it. Now, with intermittent fasting, you don't have to go bananas. There are some people that have done intermittent fasting and have not gone to the gym at all. We're gonna be aiming to do high intensity cardio for about 25 minutes from probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, probably gonna go out for like a half hour to 45-minute walk. So quick example, you do 20 seconds of push-ups, 20 seconds of sit-ups, 20 seconds of planks, 20 seconds of burpees, and then 20 seconds of jumping jacks. And that's, that's one sort of set, so to speak. And then you take a break for maybe 30 seconds or a minute, and then you do it again. So you do that 5 times, let's say 5 or 6 times, however many times that equates to however many minutes you're trying to achieve. So if you're trying to go for 25 minutes, do the math and work out how many of those sets you'll have to do to complete the 25 minutes. So that's basically the plan, guys, for phase 1. Phase 1 is gonna be intermittent fasting mixed with the high intense cardio for the 25 minutes, along with walking on my off days. On the weekends has always been a huge challenge for me because I love going out to eat, especially brunch. It's the time that I get with the family to do things that I normally don't get to do. Again, I'm gonna try to stick to the fasting and then, kind of plan where I'm gonna go to eat throughout the day, and we'll see how it works out on the weekends. So let's talk about weight goals. Right now, the last time I weighed myself, I was at 226. More than likely, I'm at 230 now, so I'm gonna use 230 as the baseline. The first goal is gonna be to get down to 220. Now, this is one of the things that'll discourage you before you even, make any real strides in your plan. Don't set your end goal to be what should be your initial goal. So you should have several goals in your weight plan. I tend to like to do it in 10-pound increments. I'm in pretty good shape at about 215, 212 or so. So 220 is pretty close to my end goal, almost halfway there. It's a very achievable goal for me. So I think that's what we're gonna start with, and we'll see where we go from there. So that's pretty much it, guys. We've got our phase 1 goal of 10-pound loss. We've got the plan. We're gonna do intermittent fasting along with high intensity cardio for 25 minutes, 3 times a week. And then the 2 days, the 2 off days during the weekday, we'll do some walking. I'll probably do some walking on the weekends because I don't plan on doing the high intensity cardio stuff on the weekends. So once again, guys, this is something a little bit different. Not all gonna be unboxings and tech videos all the time. There are other facets of my life that I wanna share with you guys. So let me know in the comments, guys, what you think. And don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the content. Don't forget to subscribe.